Most people think that they have to study for 5 hours a day in order to pass their exams. But what if I told you that with science-backed methods, you can spend as little as 1 hour a day and still get good results on that exam? If you don't believe me, stick around till the end of the video to get the whole system and strategy that you can implement right away. My name is Tom Vorselo, also known as The Study Coach, and I help students and working professionals with science-backed learning, time management, and mindset methods in order to perform in their academic and professional career without sacrificing their mental health. Talking today about study strategies that you can use in as little as 1 hour and still get good results. Let's dive in. Step number 1 is that you need to stop relying on passive learning, which is simply consuming information. What do I mean with that? It means reading over your notes, rereading your summary for the 4th or the 5th time. It means highlighting the most important parts and then only rereading the highlighted parts. This is passive learning. It's not going to get you results. It's very time consuming and not efficient or effective. What we want to do instead is we want to focus on something that we call active recalling of information. And with the information that we then are able to recall, we're good, and the things that we are not able to recall, we have to restudy them again, identify our knowledge gaps, and move forward with that. More on that in a second. You want to quiz yourself from memory as much as possible, which means if you have watched this video today, after watching it, you're going to sit down and you're going to try and recall anything that you can remember from this video. Write it down in your own words. Try to maybe come up with a plan that you're going to implement such that you can already apply the knowledge. This makes you actively engaged with the material, which yields better learning results. What we often do with students is something that we call blurting. You read a chapter of a book, then you close the book and you're going to try and recall as much as possible. If in detail, great. If not, write it in your own words to make it as simple and easy to understand for yourself. And this is because so many studies have shown these days that by actively recalling information, so coming up with information from memory, is far more efficient and effective than rereading. Quick side note here, you are probably going to struggle, and that is okay, because when you feel that you're struggling to recall the information, it's your brain working to create connections and to form these memory pathways. So this is a good sign. Don't let that discourage you. Keep going at that moment, keep thinking, keep creating connections, and do your best to recall the information. Step number 2 is where we are going to spread out this information over longer periods of time with something that we call spaced repetition. You don't want to cram everything the day before. Why? Because everything is then stored in short-term memory, and on the exam you can't rely on that short-term memory to pass it. Sometimes these exams are going to test your knowledge about 8 or 9 weeks of lectures. If you try to cram that in one night before, good luck. Some are very good at it, but the majority of people, they fail here. So instead, review the topic on increased intervals. Ideally, when you had the class, you repeat on the same day. You write down everything that you can recall from the class, what is interesting to you, and maybe you have some homework exercises that you can already do right away. 1 day later, you repeat the information. 3 or 4 days later, you repeat that same information again. This is not the 1 hour study block. You can do this in like 10 or 15 minutes. And if you then do that over time, you create better understanding and better long-term memory about these topics. You beat the forgetting curve developed by Ebbinghaus in 1885, which means that when we repeat information gradually over time, the chances of us forgetting it reduces. If we cram everything last minute, we can usually only get up to about 50 to 60% of what we need to know. Most likely what you'll notice is that each time you will remember it easier, and you have to do less of this effort or mental thinking in order to get the correct answer, which you will probably experience in the first 1 or 2 tries. There are certain apps that can help you with this. For example, Anki and Quizlet, they have automated spaced repetition included in their systems. Or when you don't only want to rely on flashcards, you can also build systems yourself with, for example, Trello, which is something we teach our students in our coaching program. So if you want to know more about that, apply for the free consultation call in the description and see if we can help you out as well. Step number 3 is that you want to focus on one topic per session. Don't multitask. Don't divide your attention into multiple subjects. Pick one, focus on that for the whole hour, so about 52 minutes. And if you've checked our last video, you also know that you have to take a 17-minute break after you studied for about 50 minutes. Now, what can help you to get really clear on what your goal is for this study session is to write down what you want to achieve. So write down in your own words, what is the goal of this next 1 hour study session? Which topics are you going to cover? Which topics do you find difficult? Which topics do you already find easy, such that you have way more of a clear plan about what you're going to do in that exact hour, and you can start executing right away. Now, the last thing that I want you to do is to have weekly mini tests for yourself. Every 7 days, take some time to test yourself about the knowledge that you did this week, but also the week before. This way, again, you are using spaced repetition, you're using different active recalling methods, and with only that 1 hour every single day, you can increase that level of knowledge retention by a lot, and by testing yourself, you will also study more efficiently and effectively. But let's summarize how to learn anything in as little as 1 hour a day. You want to start by actively recalling the information more, so testing yourself with practice questions, flashcards, teaching it to somebody else, doing practice exams, or maybe doing some case studies. Everything that actively engage your brain with the material. The second thing is that you want to space out your study plan over time. The third thing is that you want to focus on one topic and one class at a time. You don't want to multitask. You want to set clear goals before your study session. So write down, this is what I'm going to do. The things that I don't know, these are the things I already know, such that you can focus on the things that you find difficult. And lastly, make sure that in each week you have a bigger test moment for yourself. You allocate time to only test, such that you also know what you need to restudy in the next week. If you follow this for 4 to 6 weeks, you'll be amazed with the results that you can get. We've had students go from Fs and needing to take retakes that scored above 80 or 90% within 3 weeks of applying this exact system. If they can do it, I'm pretty sure you can do it as well. If you want more science-backed learning methods and tips that will help you excel in your studies without sacrificing your social life, your sleep, and your work, then make sure to subscribe and follow us for more. If you want more productivity tips, make sure to check out the video that we uploaded last week. Wishing you an amazing day and see you in the next one.